Okay, time to draw. Yeah, the hair is not that good. Yo, what's up, Benna? Yeah, thanks. This is actually a short animation that I'm trying to do. Yo, what's up, Kevin? Thanks. Ah, okay. Well, yeah, it's a bit late for me. I just tried to do things earlier, but nah. Maybe I'll uh stream until midnight or something like that. It actually depends. Though I can't do that. Yeah, I know. But actually, actually got too lazy to change the title. Ah, that's cool. Three a.m. and she's still. Dang. Oh, I still have to Friday night. Yo, what's up, Francie? I see. Yo, what's up, Astro? Yeah, I'm redoing the hair. Yeah, I just want to redo it. Hmm. Yeah, I should change the title next time. Okay. Oh, that's an easy one. At the beginning, I actually do like um three types of forms. The first form is this initial phase, and then this one that it's moving near the middle, and then draw this one that's moving farther back, and then after that you need to draw in betweens. So whenever I try to connect the two image, like you can see the movement slowly trying to meet each other. So to make it smoother, there's like an onion skin that happens when you try to do animations. Like you can see this. There are red lines that show the previous drawing, and the green one is what's next to it. So in order to make it smoother, you need to draw a drawing in between both the red and green to make it move more smoothly. Instead of just drawing it like individually until it moves, you can also like create a keyframe. That's what they do it. An onion skin, yes, onion, like the herb or the vegetable. I learned this a long time ago when I was studying the basics of, yeah, there's basically layers. When you see these frames, each of these frames is pretty much a layer on its own. It's kind of different to the art layer because there's also an art layer here. It's much more easier to separate the image by doing these layers, but there's also layers for the framing. And you just need to make sure that it moves, that it pretty much changes little by little in each frame. But it also depends on the frames per second. Because actually I started this at this type of speed to make it more smoother. But unfortunately, look, if I do it at 24 frames per second, it would be a bit too fast. In order to make it slower, I need to make more frames. But since I'm still new at this, so I need to lower the frames to make it much more easier. So the more frames per second, the more frames you need to draw. And if it's less, the less of these moving frames you draw. Oh, hey there, Rotting Rose, welcome. Usually when it comes to animation, if you want it to be smooth enough, you need to do it at 24 frames. That's usually a standard for most animations. You can do 30, but yeah, you can barely see the difference between 24 and the 30 frames. If you want it to be much more easier for you to draw, just do half of 24. That's how most meme animators do it on YouTube. It's pretty much more easier to do like either 8 frames per second or 12 frames. Yeah, to make it smoother, 24 is the sweet spot. It's not necessary to do 30 frames. That only happens in gaming or streaming that you need at least 30 or 60 frames. But for people's eyes, it's much more easier to do it at 24. So yeah, it's basically for efficiency, I'll try to do it at 12 frames. It's much more easier to draw. As long as you can make enough frames in between each of these, so you can make it smoother with less frames. But it would be much more smoother with more frames, but then you need to redo a lot of drawings many times. Yep. Most animations, like cartoon animations, they might be usually drawn in like 24 frames. Yeah, I learned a lot of animations before I started these type of stuff. But since I lack experience, I'm just gonna draw simple ones like this. Yep, animation is hard. Actually, art is also difficult, but you just need to try if you really want to at least learn. I would have to get someone to sit down with me to help. Yep. Sometimes you need a lot of help when it comes to doing this. Art and animation isn't for everybody, but it is fun to try. Hey, everybody has their interests, and yeah, if you're really interested in animation, you would just at least try a little. Because a lot of people just appreciate watching art or animation and not really draw. And there are other people who prefer like sports or other type of stuff. Hmm. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's how most people do it. I actually watch a lot of YouTube animators back in 2018, and I wanted to try it back then, but unfortunately I was a lot busy with college, so I didn't have the time. It's only around these types of years that I finished college that I was able to draw more. I mean, I also started at traditional. Pretty much the way I try to do digital art is pretty much similar to drawing using a pencil. Still stuck at learning. Search history is full of how to draw anime. Ah, yeah, I've been watching tutorials on how to draw anime as well. I don't really stop at learning. When it comes to learning any skill, it pretty much depends on when you desire to stop learning. But if you desire to keep on improving, you don't stop learning. You can pretty much improve the more you learn things over time. Plus, there are new techniques and new technologies and stuff like that. So there are more ways on how to um, do art. Oh, hey there, Helly Welly. Is that how you pronounce your name? Yeah, welcome. You'll never stop learning no matter what. Yep. I'm a martial artist, but I'm good at all things but in animation and drawing. Hmm. I mean, yeah, all martial arts, animation, drawing, and writing, they all pretty much need skill that you need to learn in order to improve. So the more you are able to learn things, you can gain more skills. As long as you don't stop, or maybe you're not satisfied with what you're learning, you can still learn more. The learning only stops when you feel like you've already reached um, your limit or something. It only depends on you on when you think you've already learned enough. I think you can put on a filter for that. Wait, there's a notification. Where is it? Oh, okay. Bro, how can I do a head? Please teach me. Hmm. Yeah, I think I can do that. Man, this will take a lot of time, but I will try to do some simple drawing. Hmm. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, I'm going to do some strats on how to draw anime heads. Because this is a good way to for most of you guys to learn. So usually the most basic one is to draw a circle. You can do it like this. I usually draw a circle like this because this is how I usually draw when drawing in traditional. It never really um I never really grew to using whatever type of shortcut. So yeah, I could have used stabilizers because most drawing applications have stabilizers to make your lines more smoother. But I just prefer to turn it off. So I don't know if it actually smoothens the lines anyways. So after you draw a circle, um, from what I remember from most tutorials that I've watched, you have to draw a line. For some, they drew straight lines like this, but that's only for flat, um, flat type of images. If you want it to more, I'm going to draw like a side view, so let's try to do that. So usually, to make your art look more 3D, you must make the circle into more of a sphere, like that. And then after that, I'll try to draw another to pretty much pretty much the way most expert artists do this. They say that this helps flatten the circle or the sphere. So as you can see, drawing a straight line and a circle here kind of makes it look like I cut a piece of the sphere a bit. This would be much easier if I drew the circle much more cleanly. But yeah, basically like that. And then afterwards, I can draw the face. But I'm going to um, add dividing lines here to indicate half of this length, and then another half here. So in order to draw the lower face or the jaw, you just need to extend the line here about another halfway. So this would be where the chin is. You need to measure the distance. So from here and here, they're pretty much the same length. I cut it in half. You pretty much need to estimate this. And then the distance from here is also equal to here. And now you can draw like a straight line over here, near the end of the line over there. Okay, let me just do that there. And then I'll connect a line here. No, I forgot how to do this. So you need to extend a line here, like in a, what is this, a 45-degree angle. Connect over here. Yeah, I think this is how they drew the head. Yeah, that's basically the anime head. Wait, let me just see what you guys are posting. That's a pretty nice image. Pretty realistic. So you draw this? Man, that's cool. Yeah, this is how some people do it. But there are other ways to make the anime type head. I think I can pretty much remember another way to do it. Where they pretty much do a different method. So the same thing, drew like an X on a sphere, and then pretty much draw like a square around here to indicate where the face should be. The more you try to kind of understand how the face works, the easier it is. And then about this line that I drew to half the circle is usually where the forehead is located. So assuming that is the case, you can draw like the nose about here, so like that. And so the eyes would go here. If you were to draw like a straight line over here, so this should be like the center point. Let me just draw like an X to indicate where the face is drawn exactly. Yeah. Because man, there are a lot of ways to try to draw the eyes or the face. So if assuming that the X that I drew is actually the exact placement of the eyes, so I can draw like a square over here. So that would be where the eyes should be. Yeah, there are a lot of ways to do this. I'm not really that good at making the basic stuff, I usually just fix it because this is just a rough sketch. You can pretty much change it to be more the way you want the head to be. That's pretty much the basic. And then if that's the eyes, you need to kind of cave this in. Because that's usually where, like I said, the forehead should be. And this area is where the cheekbone is. And then the jaw would be over here. Like that. Cheekbone is a bit too large. Yeah, like that. When it comes to the placement of the neck, if you guys remember, when I drew, like, it's much more easier to draw that flattening area, because that's pretty much where the neck should be located, like near the end of the lower jaw here, and then here is where the neck should be. And after that, you can pretty much assume all the other areas of the body. If you want my advice, you should really watch tutorials from either Mikey Mega Mega or Mark Burnett. They usually have drawing tutorials on how to draw human anatomy, or anatomy with anime art style. Yeah, these are the trapezoids, the muscle near that connects to the neck area. And after that, you can draw the shoulders. Then, assuming this is where the center of the body is, you can pretty much do that. Yo, what's up, Captain Whiskers? But I also learned of certain artists where they try to make it much more freer. So there is a specific art style out there from an artist named, what's her name again? Kuroi, where they just draw a circle, an X, and then after that they can draw the eyes and face. Then after drawing like the face like this, you can pretty much add the other parts of the head. I'm not sure if this is a good way to learn, but sometimes people I mean, it's much easier for some artists to draw to understand where the placement of the or the shape of the head, depending on how the eyes or face looks. But it's kind of difficult to do this style because you need to understand how to know where the placement of every part of the face is. But I usually do this style if I want to draw a bit more quicker. So yeah, it's a bit of a headache, and it kind of all depends on your understanding on how anatomy works. Because all it is that you need to understand the basic shapes to make things much more easier. So if you guys prefer wait, if you guys prefer boxes instead of circles, it's actually much more easier to do so. Some artists can draw um certain characters by just doing boxes, because it shows a more 3D like image, make it much more easier to view things in a three-dimensional shape. Like so. Yeah, there's a lot of things you need to understand, and there are different purposes to each type of process. I mean, one of the other advice from certain artists is that you start by drawing a line. Usually drawing like an S shape like this can let you picture out what type of pose it is. For example, let's do another square type um, image. Like for example, like that. You can pretty much picture out a certain image based on the line that you draw. Okay, what you guys talking about? Do you like drawing while you watch someone else draw? Um, Rotting Rose, yeah. I actually do like drawing while watching or listening to other creators. Well, some people learn from doing basic shape understanding. I actually much prefer to watch others on how they do it. That's how I have many different processes on how to draw. I don't use them all the time because um, you can use this on specific type of poses or art styles. So yeah, after you can kind of make these types of shapes, you can pretty much create a certain pose. But yeah, basic shapes does help, but references are much better. Shapes are only used when you are relying solely on imagination. If you don't have a pose you have already. So different methods, different styles help in certain ways. It just all depends on what type of art pose or kind of style you're going for. Yeah, but still there are a lot of artists out there that I like to learn from. After you kind of experiment on what type of basic anatomy or preparation you do, that's pretty much where your art style would go. It also depends on what type of um, character or rendering style you were going for. Yeah, there are a lot of stuff you need to do when it comes to creating your artwork. And you need to understand how things work. You need to learn from references in order to make sure what you're doing is actually right, because most anime drew inspiration from realism. Yeah, since there are a lot of ways to um, draw certain anime characters or different types of art style when it comes to anime, you really need to um, decide what you're doing in order to understand. Also, you need to experiment a lot. Certain people have certain ways or process to do things. Especially since I've learned that there are people out there who aren't able to picture out things in their mind. I think the condition is aphantasia, where they can't really imagine images in their head. Like they can know what certain images are, but they can't picture it out. And there is an artist I know that has that type of condition. So yeah, there are a lot of ways to work around certain things, because a lot of people have different ways to think. That's why the art style can differ from one artist to another, even though they are following a certain art style or process. Yeah, there's no guarantee that you can really do the same art like a certain artist does, but you can try and make it work. Wait a minute. And I always fail to draw the face properly. Wait, how did I do it? Yeah, even though you could understand all the different steps um on how to draw, you still need practice in order to get your hand or eye coordination to work with you. Yeah, that's why for some art isn't really their thing, because it's only for people who are dedicated to learning this type of stuff. But yeah, there are a lot of skills out there, sports and other stuff that you can be dedicated in. Yeah, one of the main things when it comes to learning a new skill is that whether or not you are actually committed to learn. Because even if you understand certain stuff or you have the good equipment or anything, that if you don't commit to learning or improving yourself, your art will always stay as it is. So you must always try to improve if you want to get better. I think I made the mouth a bit too far. I wonder why that is. Yeah. Art is a bit confusing. And I'm still a bit of a beginner. Still haven't fully mastered a certain style. But maybe you will get there. It takes a lot of practice. And depending on how your mind works, um, a certain art style or a certain way you would do things may be different from others. How should I make the hair? Yeah, most of the things that I've learned really came from other artists. And I try to experiment on how things work. That's pretty much how I kind of learn things. Because, man, there are a lot of ways you can go about doing art. Some people can draw a character just by drawing a specific um, body part, like the hands first, the torso. You can you don't really necessarily need to draw the face at first if that's a bit hard or difficult. I've also seen other people who do art that way, but you need a lot of skill or talent just to do that, and need to understand how things work. Let me try to test this out again. Not really satisfied with how this head works. Guess that shape does it. I've seen a lot of YouTube shorts that try to do a side view of the face that's already finished, and they just want to map how the nose and mouth is connected in the side view. And the process they did, that was pretty genius actually, is that they drew like a straight line to where the angle of the face is supposed to look. Like mine is trying to draw a character looking up. So I'm trying to make her face over here. And then after that, draw the line here for the chin. And then afterwards, from the distance where the eye should B. That's where you draw a protrusion to indicate the nose, and then connect this to the chin, and that's how you can map out the face. So like this and this. As you can see, it kind of works out this way, and then just draw a line here. That's where the mouth should be. Let's try to see if that actually works. So from here to here is where the nose is. When you try to draw the upper lip, you need to bend it over here, and then like that. It's best that the lips or the mouth doesn't go over the guide you're doing to make the proportions a bit better. Wait, it's not curved the right way. Let me do that. And then the lower lip is supposed to be farther back a bit from where the upper lip is. And then it should come over here. And then after that, it should connect back to where the chin was supposed to be. Wait. And then should do it. So yeah, I picked up a lot of tips and tricks from YouTube shorts or other drawing tutorials. Yeah, there are similar techniques on how to improve your artwork, and this is kind of a style or a tip that really works. I think I still need to improve on how to draw the head, though. But yeah. As you can see, this kind of works. Yo, what's up, Hugh? I'm just here to teach a bit of how the art works. Oh, yeah, see Benna. See ya. Well, the stream's doing well. At least I've also been learning how to draw the face a bit. Because yeah, there are a lot of tips and tricks on how to improve artwork. I'll say it's kind of a bit of a headache for me as well to understand all of them. Because you can't really use all of the tips and tricks. They are kind of depending on when or where you use it. It's not all the time that you use a specific technique or style. Yeah, I know. I need to move the eyes down a bit. Yeah, this is just for practice. But yeah, let me try to fix that again. I think for me, the problem with that type of artwork is that I suck at drawing a circle. It's always the circle that holds things together. It's much easier to do it like this so that they won't mess things up. So let's try that again. So same as before, let me try to draw the face looking up. I'm just gonna assume that the ear and the side of the face is over here. And then draw a triangle here for the lower jaw. And maybe connect it through here. Is that about right? I don't really know. Now, how to divide the face? So, I think this area should be where the eye should be. Maybe this is where the nose should end. And if that's the case, that's the mouth. Okay, let me try to do this. Huh? I don't really know. Yeah, thanks, Astro. I made this character myself. I did want to make it really cool and maybe a bit more edgy and have more distinct features. But when I try to think about it, it's much more easier to be more simple. That's why I draw this type of design. But yeah, see, I think the problem with the previous um, art was that I drew the face of I drew the base of the skull a bit wrong. Have to really draw a perfect circle to fix certain things. Also, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, I think I also... Wait, did I do it wrong again? Let me check. Yeah, this is what most people mean by need to keep on practicing. Because even if you understand how a certain trick or tip works, you still need to go about it several times in order to really understand how it works. Oh yeah, the application that I'm using is Ibis Paint X. It's a free software on Android and iOS. Also, there's also a free version in PC, but it has different rules to it. What is Dastro? Where the second line is, I would make the lip around about what? Oh yeah, it's Ibis Paint X. Oh, the upper lip curve? Let me see. Usually I just think about where the tip of the nose is, and then go about downward, like halfway. Halfway from where the separation from the upper and lower lip and the nose. I mean, let's see if I did it right. I guess it's almost the same. You start to curve it over here and then add a tip. Also, you just need to understand that the guide that I did, like, let me just turn this thing off. Let's add another one. That the guide I drew this part like this. You must never make the lips go over here. So basically, once you drew the nose, the tip of the nose is the farthest part away from everything. So the lips should not go over here. So for instance, let's just see my artwork. So from the guide, you can pretty much see that I did not go over the line. Look, let me change the color a bit. See? From the baseline, my drawing of the lips did not move over here like that. As long as you did not go overboard with the guide you drew, it doesn't really matter how the lips are. You just need to understand where the mouth separation is and where the nose starts to curve downwards. After you do that, because I did like several tries to understand this as well. I'm learning it just the same time as you guys are. So like after you understand where the nose starts to curve downward, you also need to curl it up because you need to understand the lips a bit pucker up. So after it curves down, you need to push it back out so that the upper lip can be shown. But you must also understand that it must not go past the guiding line. It doesn't need to go here. So it needs to go back down here and then ends. Kind of holds a bit here and then stops here. That's where the lips are. And then after that, the upper lip should be the one that's moving forward a bit. So the lower lip should be a bit farther here. So it starts from where the upper lip ends. Then like that. And then you need to connect all of it back to where your chin is. Yeah, this is a simple way to understand how to draw the face in the sideways. So at first, you need to draw like a wait. After you draw a circle, just draw a straight line to where the face where you want the angle of the face to look. You can even do it as long as you have the circle. You can also do it downward. As long as you understand where you want the face to show. Like for instance, let's try to make it look downward. I'm just going to draw the chin. And let's try to forget that it's looking up there. So from here, this is where the forehead is. So I'm gonna try to think that the eye should go here. And then halfway to where the eyes is where the center of that here is. So just like the previous part, draw a triangle over here, and then there, and that's pretty much it. And then draw a guide. Let's change the color a bit. So, oh yeah, I forgot where the mouth should be. It's about in the middle to where the nose should point, and the chin is where the line that separates the upper and lower mouth is. And since it goes downward a bit here, I'm going to pucker it up back again, but prevent prevent the lip from going past the line, and then make it come forward to where the mouth is, and then this is where the lower lip is. And then, wait. Curve it back over here to where the chin is. I think I push the chin back a bit too far. Yeah, it's kind of the same. See? And there you go, you can make a perfect side view image of the face. You just need to draw a perfect circle in order to make this thing work. I think your nose is going more down. Yep. Yeah, you need to practice more in order to make your artwork more consistent. But overall, this technique works well, especially when you're trying to draw anime characters in side view. And yeah, in order to improve more, you just need to look up a lot more tutorials and try to test it if it works. Because there are other techniques out there that may not work for you because you might not get it at first. But just try to test things out. The more you try to experiment with different art styles, different techniques, your range of what you can draw pretty much expands. Yeah, different art style also has a specific technique that you need to understand on how to do it. Because this is just a drawing on how to draw like a basic shape of the face when it comes to anime style. But it can differ. Wait, how long have I been doing this? Oh, it's 10. I still have the energy, so I think we can go for one more hour. Just need to drink some water first. Now that I've learned a bit on how to draw those, I'm gonna try to make a different style or character, just to keep the momentum of my creativity to work. Yeah, I forgot I was watching stuff. Do, do, do. Ooh, nice. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I really want to draw this type of eyes. Yeah, I'm trying to draw kind of like a yandere character. Eh. Hmm. Okay, let me just draw a straight line instead. Hmm. Hmm. Oh man. Um, drawing the mouth is pretty hard. I mean, a ruler does exist on this application. There's a symmetry tool and other stuff. I just really don't do it. Wait, how am I going to draw the other fingers? Ah. No, you're allowed to leave. Just don't let me hold you up. I'll still be here to draw, and I'm still gonna stream tomorrow. Uh, yeah, no worries. Do the things you need to do. It's okay if you leave. Just finish whatever you need, responsibilities you need to do. Plus, I don't think I'm gonna finish this. I mean, it's still not 11 my time. I'm gonna try to fix this. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this in just less than 30 minutes. Yeah, thanks. I'll try to do what I can to make this look good. Hmm. Yeah, and have a nice day. Do, do, do. Yeah, thanks, Astro. Yo, what's up, Nachi? Hi there, silly little goober. What's up? my stylus is dying. Well, I guess I should end stream now, since it's nearly 11 p.m. Well, thanks for watching. I'm going to end stream now, so yeah. See you next time, and goodbye and good night. See you later, guys. Bye bye.